I was horrified to find out that the drum skins my wife made could be sold for $5 million. It baffled me. What shocked me even more was that every customer who came out looked completely satisfied, and they were saying things that could be easily misunderstood at first. I didn't suspect anything, I just noticed my wife seemed exhausted every day, so I suggested that she teach me how to make the drums so I could share the pressure. But my wife flatly refused and said I was making a fuss, so I changed the topic and tried to get closer to her, but she always used exhaustion as an excuse to turn me down. Ever since she opened the drum-making shop, she had been living there for 10 years, leaving me alone in the house. I decided to check things out myself, but my wife kept stopping me just as we were arguing. My mother arrived after hearing our conversation. She finally understood we had been sleeping in separate rooms for years. No wonder we hadn't had children after all these years of marriage. The woman explained that the drum shop business was very exhausting, and that's why she had made this choice. But my mother didn't listen. She believed the drum business was improper since the whole village had already been gossiping about it. Even so, I still trusted my wife. However, at that moment, another customer arrived and his words made it clear he was fond of my wife's drum shop. This raised suspicions among the others. Seeing this, my wife quickly made an excuse to ask the customer to leave. But as the customer was leaving, he said something that left me uneasy. My mother immediately ordered that I divorce my wife. I thought back on how we had known each other for so many years and never had any intimate moments. Only on our wedding day did things finally change, so I was certain my wife would never betray me with that. I decided to leave with my wife, but at that moment, my brother saw how much money my wife made from the drums and his thoughts turned to greed that night. He secretly went to the drum shop and coincidentally, he ran into my wife dragging a bloody sack out of curiosity. He quietly followed her, but my wife didn't notice him until she was about to close the door. Then she immediately tensed up and my brother became more suspicious of her. He was determined to find out what was in the sack. My wife panicked and immediately denied there was anything in the sack, asking him to go back, but he insisted on looking, fearing the secret would be exposed. My wife quickly stopped him. Then she claimed she would teach him how to make drum skins and took him to the backyard. The next day, another customer came to ask if my wife's soft drum skin was ready, but she simply claimed she hadn't found a good skin yet. However, when she saw my brother, she immediately changed her story, and the intimate scene between them made my mother more suspicious. This made her believe my wife was not clean. But this time, my brother stood by my wife's side because his experience the night before had given him a new perspective. I was furious and immediately told him to pack his things and go home. To my surprise, my wife insisted they stay at our house. Not only that, but she also changed things around in the house without asking and even occupied our wedding room. Even my mother didn't support me, and I found out my brother had also been to the drum shop, so I immediately confronted my wife asking what they had been doing in the room. My wife tried to come up with an excuse to avoid the question, but in my rage, I wouldn't listen. She then locked the door in frustration and stormed off, but I had already begun to doubt her, and I was certain there was some hidden secret in the drum shop that night. I had a locksmith make a key for the lock and